I'm about to share with you a dream every single Muslim should know of. A dream, ru'ya, which Muhammad alayhi salatu wassalam had. This ru'ya, this dream is found in Sahih al-Bukhari. What's the story? Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, from his habit after salah, he asks the people, هل أحد منكم رأى رؤيا? Any one of you saw a dream last night? So I can explain, so I can describe the meaning of your dream. And Rasulullah sallam, one day, he told the Sahaba about his own dream, and that's what we want to really focus on and learn very well. He said, last night, أتاني رجلان, two people came to me in my dream, and they woke me up in the dream. So I got up. So they told me, انطلق, proceed, proceed. And in this dream, there are 7 scenes I want to share with you, inshallah. And we'll explain what each one is. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, فَانْطَلَقْنَا. Then I went with these 2 people. Who are they? You will know, inshallah. We went and we saw a man lying on the ground. And the man was lying on the ground, his head was right here, and behind his head was a man holding a rock, hajara. So this man holding the rock looks at the man lying down, and he throws the rock, and it smashes and crushes the guy's head, destroys the head. Rasulullah says, فَيَتَدَحْرَجْ. That rock rolls and rolls. So the thrower of the rock runs after the rock to pick it up. By the time he picks up the rock, he returns back to the man lying on the ground. His head comes back to normal, as if nothing happened. And he does it again, he smashes the hand. The pain is fresh, continuous. So Rasulullah ﷺ says in the dream, Subhanallah, ma hadani, what's these 2 people doing? What's going on? So the 2 people next to the Prophet ﷺ, they say, Intaliq, intaliq, proceed, proceed. Scene number 2. Rasulullah ﷺ describes a very similar position. A man lying on his back and a man standing above his head. Does he have a rock? No. He has a hook. A hook made out of iron, hadid, steel. And what does he do? 3 things. يَأْتِي بِعَيْنِهِ. He goes to the guy's head. Half of the side first, half of the head. He gets the hook and he pokes his eye. And he goes all the way back, إِلَى قَفَاهِ, which is the back of the head. Tears his face apart. Then he goes into the same side but the nose. Now we go from the eyes to the nose. And he rips his nose all the way to the back. Then he goes to the third part, which is the mouth, and he tears it all the way to the back. Rasulullah is explaining it as detailed as I'm making it, being it Allah accept from all of us. The Prophet ﷺ says, and by the time this man goes to the other side of the face, that first side goes back to normal. And he does it with the eyes, pokes it all the way to the qafah, meaning the back of the head, and he goes into the nostrils, the nose. He rips it all the way to the back, and the mouth rips it all the way to the back. Some of you are distressed maybe. Some of you have never heard this hadith before maybe. Rasulullah says, Subhanallah ma hadan. He is also terrified. He says to the people next to him in the dream, what's going on? Who are these 2 people? They said, Intaliq, intaliq, proceed, proceed. To scene number 3. What's scene number 3? Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he says, and we saw a tannoor. A tannoor is like an oven. An oven that is a cone shaped. لَيْسَ لَهُ مَخْرَجْ. And Rasulullah says, ثُمَّ نَظَرْنَا. So we looked inside the oven and we saw men and women without any clothes. Nothing, naked, عُرَاء. The Prophet says, then the fire, شُعْلَ مِن نَارٍ, the fire is turned on. When the fire is turned on, the naked men and women, they try to leave the oven. And they cannot because the oven is closed. So Rasulullah asked the people next to him, مَنْ هَؤُلَاء? Who are these people? They said, انطلق, انطلق. Proceed, proceed. To scene number 4. Rasulullah ﷺ says in scene number 4, he saw a man swimming in a river red like blood. Nahar, ahmar kaddam. And as that man is swimming, there's another man standing on the shore or the bank of the river, holding hijara, rocks. And when the man swimming, he comes to the edge of the river, he opens his mouth. And the one standing throws the rock inside the mouth. فَيَسْبَحْ وَيَسْبَحْ. And the guy goes back to swimming. Then he comes back to the bank, he opens his mouth, then that man standing throws another rock. And he goes back to swimming and swimming. So the Prophet says to the 2 people, مَنْ هَؤُلَاء? What's going on? They said, انطلق, انطلق. Proceed, proceed. Then we go to scene number 5 out of 7. That scene is interesting. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, and I saw one man with such repulsive appearance His look is something I've never seen before. Scary, freaky, repulsive. You see, like, you don't want, unbelievable. I've never seen anything like that before. So Rasulullah says this man was kindling fire. يُشَعِّلِ النَّارِ وَيَسْعَى حَوْلَهَا. And he used to turn that fire on and he used to go around that fire. Very scary scene. So the Prophet asked the two people, "Man hada? Who's this man?" They said, "Inṭaliq, proceed, proceed." So they went to the sixth scene. What's going on here? Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, now he saw hadiqa, a beautiful garden with so much dense vegetation. Hey, alhamdulillah, now a positive, kullu positive, all khair inshaAllah. But the sixth scene is different than the previous five. Beautiful garden. He says, وَرَأَيْتُ رَجُلًا طَوِيلًا. I saw a man who's so tall. I can barely see his head for how tall he was. وَحَوْلَهُ. And around that tall man are so many children. I have never seen so many kids in these amounts in my life before. So I asked, what's going on and so on. But they never